On the flight I just took from England back to Austin, there was an error with the plane. Plane messed up, so we had to get off and get back on. And as we got off, Dan took mental note of all of the seats in business class that weren't taken. So when we got back on, he was like, I know that there's no one in that seat. So he just sat in that seat.
They have a manifest.
Yeah, they have a manifest. They check it.
And he got his ass kicked out of first class.
Yeah. Did he really? He just sat in a first class seat?
I was like, I bet you should. I think you should do it. You might get away with it.
How did you not film that? Did you film it?
Yeah, I filmed him getting kicked out.
Oh, that's the best
How
thing
did
ever.
they do it? Were they so polite about it, or were
They were like, oh, the woman was like, I didn't have anyone in the seat on my iPad here. And he was like, oh, yeah, I just got it. Like, I upgraded at the counter.
You tried to lie?
Yeah. And then she was like, oh, okay, I'll be right back. Let me check. And he just bolted out of first class. Yeah, it was good.
Did he not think they don't have, like, a system to check that?
He did not.
Yeah.
He did not.
It's also the fact that Dan looks like Dan.
And apparently, like,
is he wearing his
salmon
salmon shorts?
Well, the thing is that because a lot of those seats, you face someone. There's like a divider, but you start off and you got someone facing the other way. So he sat down and the guy was like, where'd you come from? He's like, oh, don't worry about it.
I'm your son. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Shut up. That's where I came
Keep
from.
a fucking mouth shut.
That's where he should have been like, Daddy?
But yeah, like, everyone in economy who could like hear the conversation, they were like cheering him on, like, oh, it was worth a try. You almost made it.
I love it.
And everyone in first class was like, get out of it, you scum.
Well, they paid a lot of money for
Yeah,
that.
they did.
One time I had a thing where I was coming back from one of our trips to Australia, and I remember I specifically spent $78 to upgrade to the exit row, which on an international flight on one of those big planes, it's like got like 5 or 6 rows of leg room there. The only problem is that's where people come and stand and they step on your feet. But it's still nice because you can like put your legs all the way out. So I paid $78 for that seat, and it was 2 seats in that little section in that aisle, and nobody was in that other seat. So I was like, I'm gonna have an empty seat next to me, and I'm gonna have all that leg room. Then like a minute before the plane takes off, the biggest fucking dude on the plane, he was like 6'6" and weighed about 300 pounds, was like, can I move to that other seat? And the steward's like, I don't care. And I was like, I paid $78 for this seat, and now this guy's like cramming me into the fucking wall for 13 hours of a flight. And it's just like, great. Next time I'll just steal a fucking seat, just like everybody else.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's still an empty seat. I don't care. It shouldn't bother me. But it's like, I felt like I got ripped off now because this guy got his fucking free seat.
That would bother
basically. And she got a refund.
Yeah.
From Qantas. How dare you?
Oh, you actually got it refunded?
No,
He said he should.
Oh.
What does Qantas stand for? Do you know?
Qantas?
I
Queens. It's the different territories.
Nope. I don't think so.
Queensland?
I know that you read it out like a few months ago.
We did on here?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. We won't do that again then. Someone go back and listen to the podcast and find out.
We did? Am I right then?
Queensland.
Yeah, Queensland and Northern Territory
Quiet
Aerial Service.
and
Okay.
So not all of the territories, but
talkative
some of them.
That's you were
and
not, you were
silent.
Say two.
You do acknowledge that you were
Also, it's
Two of
not
them.
Qantas. There's no U.
Cantus.
It's
Qantas.
Cantus.
You say Qantas?
No, I mean, it's Qantas. It's just not spelled that way.
How do you pronounce a Q without the U sound ever?
Well, you don't.
Quilt? Quiet?
Well, what do you mean?
All have U's.
I'm trying to think of a word that has a Q and no U.
I love my
like,
kilt.
Why'd you pick quilt then?
I'm just
Oh,
going
you're just
through
trying to-
words. What are words that begin with Q?
Hey, it's just words with friends.
Give me a word that begins with Q that doesn't have the U sound.
I
in
can
it.
only think of like Chinese words, right? Like names that have like QI.
That's not a real language, though.
I don't think. Is there a word
Just
that's
trying to help.
Q that
Well, not in
doesn't
English,
follow
because
by
that would
a
be
U?
an incorrect word, wouldn't it?
K.
You might as well have a C or a K. We've already got enough of them.
Or an A or an I.
An A?
Kicks, the video game.
Yeah,
A
but that's not a
kicks?
real word.
Really, is there any word that has a Q and doesn't have a U after it?
Let us know.
It's probably like
Hashtag
the
RT
name of an
podcast.
animal or something, like a kikuk or something like that.
Oh, the Keekwuk. What does the Keekwuk look like again?
That's the noise it makes.
Oh. My cheeks, nice and hair-free. I like my hairs.
They look nice.
Harry's hair free.
Yep.
Did you see the animated GIF that somebody put up?
Yeah.
You can't
Don't
Gif.
don't just
trying to
slip
get away
in.
with that.
Snuck
It
it
sticks
in.
out like a sore thumb.
We're not gonna let it go.
I said GIF for years until I was convinced.
You,
Yeah, but-
be unconvinced.
This is the one asshole thing, you know, when a guy gets a girlfriend and he's like, he just becomes a fucking dickhead and he's
No.
like, goes
Like a
along with
vegan?
whatever they do and all that stuff. You never had a guy friend who did that?
No.
Or you never had a girlfriend who like she got a new boyfriend and her whole life became the boyfriend?
Well, yeah, but they're stupid when they do that.
No, I'm saying that's it.
You're
this
right.
This is my one thing with Ashley is that she convinced me to say GIF.
Well,
And
I think it's time to break up.
we're done.
Look,
It's
two
over.
wrongs don't make a right.
What does that mean?
You're wrong. She's wrong.
No, she's
So
right.
the fact that you're both wrong together.
The thing that convinced me,
Don't say it.
Okay, we won't even
Don't say it. You're
No,
gonna
no, no.
say that the fucking
Burnie.
guy who started it.
Hold on, go ahead.
The guy who said, oh, no. So it's the word scuba. You don't say scuba. You say scuba.
Well, you also say Cuba. What's the point?
Well, it's underwater is what the U stands for. You don't say
Right.
underwater.
But isn't it
Unterwater.
Unterwasser.
isn't it graphical though?
Graphic, yeah. So
So it's
yeah,
griff.
that's what I'm saying. So scuba is underwater. You don't say scuba. You say scuba.
But that's not a rule necessarily.
But that's the way the people who made it pronounced it.
What about laser?
They pronounced it scuba. Like, I'm sure when some people first looked at the word and said that's scuba, say, no, it's scuba. You don't say,
Scuba would be 2 B's.
What other word that's GI is pronounced
scuba would be
jit?
2 O's. Scuba.
No, because Cuba doesn't have. It's not Cuba.
Let's have the exact same argument for the word scuba that you do with GIF and GIF. Like, I would say scuba, there's a word scooter. That's how you pronounce scoo. Is SCOO.
But what other word is GI that's pronounced J?
What? What I'm saying is, well, that's the
Gerald.
argument. What I'm saying, Barbara, is that people say GIF.
Giraffe.
Giraffe.
Yeah.
People say GIF is part of gift, and you say gift. You don't say I'm going to give you a birthday gift. But my argument is like there's a word scooter. That's how scooter is pronounced. Scoo, and you pronounce.
What's
scuba.
Scoo got to do with it?
The word scuba. It's how you fucking pronounce. All right, I'm done. Good call, Gus. Not getting involved with this shit.
So where does,
I'm like arguing 2 sides of the arguments with these 2 fucking idiots on the
where
couch
does
over
the
here.
J come from though?
That's how the guy pronounces it. That's
Who's
how
the guy?
The guy that made it. The guy that invented it, named it.
He made
Where's he
moving
from?
images.
What country?
He made the animated GIF.
Hey,
Yeah,
I get what you did
What
there.
nationality is he?
I don't know. He's an idiot. I agree with you. It's
Moron?
like I pronounced it as GIF forever, and I was like, every time people brought up that guy, I'm like, who gives a fuck about that guy? He doesn't know what he's talking about.
See, you were so right.
I'm gonna pronounce it Geif from now on.
Guy.
Guy.
I'm gonna say jive.
I'm gonna.
Listen, I can make fun of you for being boring because I told Gavin this before the podcast, but I had a 2-hour dream last night. It felt like one of those super long dreams. Felt like it was 2 hours long. The entirety of the dream, Gus, was me trying to set up a dash cam in my car.
Oh God, that
That
sounds
was-
so boring.
That was it. And I woke up from that and I was like, I was mad at myself for this dream. Like, why am I wasting my dreaming time setting up a fucking dash cam and not doing it well and getting mad at it and like trying to figure it out and troubleshooting?
I hate when you have dreams
Not
that are
even
just stress.
getting it on the first time, you had to troubleshoot it.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours, Barb. It was forever. And I woke up mad and like thinking about this stupid dash cam. I'm like, what the fuck am I wasting my time with?
could've
Other
been
people have dreams about like
unicorn-
foursomes and I'm dreaming about a
blowjobs.
dash cam.
So, like, what kind of issues were you coming up against?
Like USB stuff. Then
really?
there was something about current. Like there was, you know how your brain just makes shit up, but it makes sense to your brain.
Well, like I was saying the other week, like how my brain made up this dumb piece of the lens that I broke and I couldn't fit it back in.
Right.
But my brain invented the problem. It's like so annoying and weird. It's like, get out of here.
Just a
Put
bucket-
in a naked woman.
Exactly right. Why are you getting in
Yeah,
the way here?
why didn't a naked woman fall out of the lens?
Maybe
have-
that's just telling. Your brain puts in problems.
I don't know. I have to live a more deviant lifestyle. That's all it is. If I'm dreaming about setting up a fucking dash cam, what the fuck?
And were you like, do you want to do this in real life? Is
And
that,
it wasn't even my car. It was like my car from college, you know, an old rundown Audi with no
I
air
never
conditioning.
have
wouldn't it be
exciting
cool if it
dreams.
worked though? And
Didn't
you
it
could
suck?
My dreams are never exciting.
It sucks.
Yeah, they're always about real life. Like recently, my car got ran into while it was parked, so like my bumper's all fucked up.
Uh-huh.
I had a dream that I was driving with my fucked up bumper, and someone hit me on the other side of the bumper. And then I was to my insurance. I was like, I got hit, and they're like, well, how do you have a hit on one side of your bumper and the other if you got hit by this side? And I was like, well, I was gonna tell you guys about this side, and then this side happened after that. And I was
That's like
like,
a
this is what I'm
real
dreaming about.
stress
Yeah.
dream.
And your brain sets up a dream, like an argument in your dream that you lose. It's like, why is my brain like
working
I had to,
let
like-
me at least win the shitty argument? Like,
I
you know,
had to
let me set
defend
up.
myself to an insurance company in my fucking dream.
Have you ever had
You were an insurance company.
Yeah, you were.
In your dream. You were an insurance company
role-playing
fighting to
against
screw yourself over. You spent mental
Yeah, it was
energy
all
doing
her.
that.
Have you ever kept the same companion throughout the whole dream? Like people I'm with
No,
in a
people
dream,
switch out.
They just become different people, and I'm like,
Do you ever switch like two other people in your dream? Like it's from your first person perspective, but then it's not? No. Dude, I have
I'm always
that.
me.
It's weird.
so you're looking at you sometimes?
Yeah, or it's
Have
like
you ever banged yourself?
it's a no. I've never banged myself. No, I took a tech support for myself setting up a dash cam. That was the most exciting.
Have you
thing that
tried checking the
happened.
current?
You never had that? Where
No, I've
it's
had
like,
dreams that are like movies where like the framing changes, but I'm not I feel like I'm just watching a movie in the dream. It's not like I'm in control of anything. I have a question about your laptop.
Yeah.
Do you pre-buy those stickers?
What does what does that mean?
Well, you know all the countries you've been to. Do you have those flags?
I get what
already?
he's saying. Like, you know where you've been to on Amazing Race.
Right.
Or are you going out like week by week and buying those?
I just, as you can tell, many of them are from a set. But I purchased these different ones. It actually started with my trip to Ireland. That was not
You
part-
answered that question so suspiciously and weird.
Well, I
It's a
mean, you said,
simple
do I
question.
pre-buy them? It makes it sound like I bought them before I went to the countries, and I didn't know where I was going.
No. Why would I mean that?
That's what I'm saying. What does pre-buy them mean? Of course, do I buy them before I stick them on my laptop? Yes, I buy
No,
them
as in, like-
before I put them on my goddamn laptop. Pre what? Pre what?
It's either that or you're just buying one every week.
I bought a bunch of flags. No, I didn't sit down and go, well, I don't want it to spoil the results of the Amazing Race to Amazon, so I only bought a few. I bought a bunch of flags. I even bought flags for places that I didn't go
Ooh, sneaky.
because I'm planning to go there.
So
Other places.
they recovered
So aggressive.
Pre-buy. Well, you always say something dumb and then act like I'm an idiot because I didn't understand
You
it.
thought I meant before the race.
You just said pre-buy. What
Pre
does
doesn't mean when the dinosaur, when you were born. You
What
bought
does
them.
pre-buy mean?
You got to be smart about what pre means.
Why can't you just say, did you buy the flags every week or did you buy them all at once? Why didn't you ask that question?
Yeah.
What's this pre-buying? What does that mean? No, I didn't pre-buy them.
Did you put in your pre-order for flags? You get the bonus DLC
I
for
did.
enclaves and exclaves.
I did buy one pack that has every flag in the world in it.
So I'm gonna pick the winner for the feed.
Go for it.
So congratulations, Corey Matter at Mater62. You have won the
Woohoo!
trivia contest
Won.
tonight. So we're
Won.
gonna send you
Won.
all of the GIF. We're gonna send you all of the swag from Pizza Hut, including scarves, shirt, hats, sunglasses. I think there's pillowcases in there, and you also get the $25 gift card.
Also, it bugs the hell out of me that you
thank you.
said the winner was Corey Matter
I did it on purpose.
at Twitter Mater62. I'm like,
I wasn't sure which it was, so I said both.
is it Matter or is it Mater?
That's
Mader.
It doesn't matter.
Mader?
Yeah,
I would say Mater.
Mater.
Mater. Corey Mater.
Mater. I was gonna say that was a word, but it's not a word. It's like that's a word. It's
Mater62.
maybe
What is your favorite word?
swing. I like that there's a word that it ends in ing, but if you take it off, it's just sw. So I always like to think about it as swing. Like
Swooting.
you get What are you doing? I'm swing.
No, but you say swinging.
I know you say swinging. Swing is my favorite word. I want to point out that I was ready to go with my answer as soon as you asked that question. It has
Yeah.
always been my favorite word.
That's
Do you have a favorite word?
Swing is a
honestly,
silly word to me.
I like any word that ends in NGE.
I would think you like kludge.
Well, that's not a word.
Binge.
Clunge.
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 What
Yeah.
about
NG?
binge?
Binge, you said earlier. Binge is good. Munge, that's not
Munge.
a real word. You know, blancmange.
Blancmange. All right, what about you? Any favorite words? Gus?
I don't think I have any favorite words.
I do. Nifty.
Enclave.
Enclave.
Nifty?
Nifty.
Exclave.
Why nifty?
Because you say it and you can't help but smile.
I also
Nifty.
I like trellis.
Nifty.
Trellis is good.
Trellis. It's just like, what's that? It's a trellis. Yeah, it is.
I like any word that you say enough times and it just doesn't sound like a word anymore.
Fork.
That's every word though, right?
Yeah, just like everything that just loses all meaning.
Yeah, it's
Or
just,
you
you're,
say
you're
spelled
just
out.
making a shape with your mouth, and then I just become very self-conscious about what my mouth is doing when I say a word over and over.
You know what I was thinking about?
One.
Yeah.
We got on this topic. At what point do you think? I don't know if it's ever happened yet, but what point in the future will people start to call the alphabet like the letter emojis? Like, at what point will emojis take over for the word letters or alphabet?
How old is emoji?
It's not that old.
It's got to be 3 years.
No,
Oh, I
it's
thought it
older
was
than
like
that.
decades old.
Well, there's emoticons.
Emoticons are different than emojis.
That were the first things, and then emojis kind of just came about at some point.
Well, there was an emoji
but
keyboard.
AIM had emojis,
But it's Japanese.
Yeah,
but
but
they were
we-
called emoticons.
Yeah.
Emojis are something specific.
But they're built into like stuff. So they've been around a while.
How?
Why?
old?
So
Because it's built in.
Emoji have
That stupid rainbow barf thing on Snapchat's built into Snapchat. It hasn't been around for very long.
emojis actually have some
Built
really
in.
good
Who cares? The
uses.
building it in is how you make it to begin with.
So
What, did you find him on the street? You fucking dumb Brit.
the best use case for emojis that I can think of is something that I do. I have a hard time communicating with my in-laws because they don't speak English very well. But if like we're texting, they can communicate via emoji, and I can understand what they mean or what they're saying.
Pile of poo.
I saw a
Or one of
shirt
this.
that you would love. Do you know what the shirt is?
No.
It's a traveler's shirt with just a bunch of like symbols, but it's rows of like 40 different symbols. And it just looks like a designed shirt, doesn't look like anything crazy. But when you point at it, you realize it's like international symbols for things. Not the standardized ones, more modified ones, but it's very clear like, I need food, I need a bathroom, where can I catch a car?
That's good.
Like stuff like that. So you just point at your shirt when you see something.
Could I get a shirt that just like in all the most popular languages just says "Give me beer,"
Dude.
and you can be like,
Oh,
I would-
that's awesome.
What is the universal symbol for play?
"It's really good."
Yeah, so you just point at it and you're like, that's it. And
The
it
little
becomes
arrow
clear.
button.
I love that shirt.
It's a great. I thought you would like
good
that
shirt.
shirt. It's a very functional, and it's not. It sounds like it's going to be really gross, right?
No,
but
it's great.
It's actually a great shirt.
So you're saying play is a triangle?
I would say yeah, it's that sideways triangle. Play.
Sideways triangle.
You mean like play like a
Yeah, like
Like
the
a
universal
DVD.
symbol for play is always a triangle.
It's the YouTube thing.
Pointing
yeah
the
Yeah.
way you're
Right.
Pointing right.
pointing forwards.
pointing right,
What's the universal symbol for stop?
square.
Square.
So why isn't a stop sign a square? For Christ's sake!
Yeah. Why did they make a stop button octagon?
Did those
Stop button.
exist?
Stop button on
right
the
other
thing.
Those existed before
Gavin.
VCRs, I guess.
yeah. They must
And a pause is a stop button that's cut in two,
Is that what that is?
isn't it? I feel like stop is
it's just someone
disappearing.
going like this.
Like you never have stop and pause anymore together like you used to. It's always one or the other.
Somebody pointed out just recently, and once again, I think we talked about this podcast, but the power symbol is both the on and off combined.
right. The 1 and
The
0.
circle with the one through the top of it. That little power symbol that's on buttons. It's on and off. So they just combined the 1 and the 0 for on and off into one symbol.
Oh,
It's brilliant.
Yep.
Simple.
Apparently, emojis originated in Japanese mobile phones in the late 1990s.
Were they built in? Or were did they just like include them in a sheet?
They just said originating on Japanese mobile phones.
Okay,
So
so they were on
that's
the
why
outside
a
of
lot
the
of
phone.
the symbols are like sushi and.
They might have been outside of the phone. Then they built them in later. That's when they became
I
a
looked
thing.
up why it's a square, and it makes total sense. So the play button, you think about it as a triangle, right?
Yeah.
Facing to the right. That the triangle indicates which direction the tape head moves. It's all tape.
Oh, because there was auto reverse too. Sometimes would go the
And
other way.
the stop is the triangle with the triangle, like the very tip cut out. It's if you think about the triangle is supposed to be a square with a triangle like playhead on it.
Like going forward.
Right. And the stop is just with the triangle tip cut off.
I think
So it's
the
just
modern play
square.
button though is just the triangle part.
Right. It used to be the square with the triangle tip on
Right.
it. And it just has evolved so that there's no longer the square on it. And it doesn't make sense, but that's why it was that way originally.
Interesting.
Where it gets really messed up is fast forward, which is 2 arrows. But then they got to ones that were like skip, which is the line.
And then you've
And then there's
skip is a line.
well, it's an arrow that points at a line,
Oh,
right?
and if you've got a line with an arrow,
It's frame by frame.
it's slow mo.
yeah.
Well, yeah, frame by
sorry,
frame.
slow-mo. Your thing.
Oh, that should have been a part of my logo.
Yeah, it would have been good. You redesign your logo.
Well, yeah,
It's time.
Why not? Do it. New logo for you.
let's do it.
I want to redesign the logo for the Rooster podcast too.
You gonna take out the rooster and the teeth?
Nope. That microphone though at the beginning is just like that 3D microphone we have. I think we could do something different there.
Because we've never once used a microphone that looks like that.
Yeah, see exactly. That we actually have that microphone now, and it's on the spot
Yeah.
set. They have that microphone.
This would be a very
on
pretty
John's desk.
logo.
No. Also, that logo it's
I'm
like
doing that. I'm sure that sounds terrible.
it's like that logo is really cool and it looks great in that 3D intro. But then it's like when I see it like on pint glasses and stuff, it doesn't look as good. Like the off-topic logo was designed 2D and designed flat, and it looks really cool that way. But it also looks good in 3D. I think our current like the Rooster podcast logo, I think it just looks good in 3D. You know, it doesn't look as good in like 2D or things like that. I see it a lot of times on like, shirts or something like that.
Yeah.
Does anyone own that? The line in the triangle? Like if I just put only that on a shirt, does someone have that?
YouTube has. I got the YouTube one right here. Oh, over here.
Over there.
It's got a little.
Country is
You don't
that?
even, you don't think about it very often, but it's got at the top of the arrow here. It's got like a little gray shadow.
So like the white is in the red.
Is that what it is? Is that what
I
it's supposed to
I
look
see
like?
it as like the white has been slightly pushed into the red.
It really doesn't do anything for me in depth at all. It just looks like
Really?
a little gray shadow. Yeah, I don't even know what it's meant to convey.
It is
Maybe,
fascinating how much
maybe,
effort
yeah.
is put into companies' logos that
Dear
you don't even
Lord.
see. Like Amazon has the arrow that goes from the A to the Z because they've got like everything.
We got everything from A to Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The craziest one, and we've talked about this many times, is the FedEx logo with that fucking arrow inside of it.
Nah,
Yeah.
Baskin Robbins is still the best one to me.
The
The
FedEx
31?
with the arrow in it.
yeah, it's got the B
Yeah,
and the R in
FedEx.
it.
Between the E and the X, there's an arrow.
Oh yeah.
Moving to the right, because that's where your package is going. To the right.
To the right, to the right.
See between the E and the X?
Yeah.
What if you got something
is that
delivered to you?
intentional?
Yep.
What is the one service that, like, when you see it, oh, we shipped your package via, what is it that you go, oh, shit?
USPS.
DHL.
Yours is DHL.
USPS.
USPS.
It's USPS, right? I put that in a tweet the other day, and people were like,
Oh, it's dog, and you can't control that with Amazon.
right.
So if you're expecting it soon, it says tracking number USPS. You're like, oh, see that in a couple
At least
of weeks.
USPS, which is United States Postal Service, it's the post office. At least now they have, like, some functions that the private carriers have had for years, like tracking.
Yeah, but their tracking sucks.
Yeah, but their tracking
it updates
sucks.
days later.
Yeah, the tracking
I
sucks.
had a package I was expecting a couple of months ago, and in the tracking, it was like, in Austin, no update for like 2 weeks. Eventually, I go to the post office. I'm like, I'm expecting this package. It says it's in Austin. It's like, hold on. They disappear for half an hour, and they come back there. Here you go.
Wow.
It's like, what? Where was it? They're
Yeah.
Like,
Not like
oh,
that.
you just needed to come pick it up. Like, why didn't anyone fucking tell me? Why isn't it on the tracking status? It says, go get your fucking package.
I saw one of the best things ever, Gus, which will make you frustrated because it's way better than your experience. It was either UPS or FedEx, I can't remember who, and it said attempted delivery, and it required a signature, and then written like over the disclaimer on it or whatever, the guy had written in marker, I'll be at the Burger King having lunch from 2 to 3 if you want to come get your package. And the guy like went to Burger King
That's awesome.
and got his package. I'm
That's
like,
top.
that's
That's
an
awesome.
awesome dude.
That's dedication.
That's an awesome dude. Like,
I
I would
went
have
to-
totally bought that guy's Burger King.
I went to pick up something that at USPS because it was attempted delivery and they didn't want to deliver again. And I went there and they were like, we left it with your landlord. And I was like, okay, I don't have one. I mean, I don't have a landlord.
Yeah.
And then they went off and came back. And then they're like, yeah, we left it with your landlord. And I was like, no, I'm telling you, I don't. And then she just repeated it again. And I was like, I guess this is as far as this conversation goes. I'll see you later. And I had the company resend the goods.
So is there just a dude or a chick like pretending to be your landlord wandering outside your place?
All right,
I
I was
would
doing
love
my
if
head in. I'm like summarizing that story, but I was getting really annoyed. I was like, it's like I'm talking to a chatbot who doesn't know any other information. I mean,
Right.
You're a human, and I am one too. Wouldn't you be annoyed? It's with your landlord, and was like making like really mouthy comments. I was like, or like, over pronouncing it like I'm an idiot.
Where
I was
did you
like,
live at this point in time? Did you live by yourself or was it you lived
No,
in the,
live with Meg. In
So
my
it's a
house.
house.
in your house?
So it's
That I
fairly
own.
It's your
recently.
house.
Yeah.
You could just been like,
So-
I own a home. I am the landlord.
She would have just said to me the same thing that she'd already said.
That's so weird.
Some people, you can't break them out of that.
Yeah, in the end, I was just like, and I just turned 180 and walked out the door, and I just was like, I can't get the things you sent me. You need to send them again.
I've got a similarly frustrating story. I'm going to read this first,
Okay.
and then I'm going to talk about it. So one time, I held my mail. Where I was going to be out of town for a couple of weeks. Esther, I'm going to be out of town for a couple of weeks. So we told the post office, you can fill out a form online. You say, I'm going to be. I don't want my mail delivered on these dates.
Well, why don't you just come back to it? What's the issue?
I don't want someone to steal my mail. I don't want someone to
Oh,
think
because
I'm
it's
not
outside
home.
in a mailbox.
So I just had the mail held. And then we came back from our out-of-town trip. They deliver, at the end of it, they deliver all of your accumulated mail. Mm-hmm. So they deliver all the mail, and I look at it, and it's someone else's mail. And I'm like, oh, this isn't my mail. This is someone else held their mail, and it ended today, but this is theirs. So I go down to the post office, and it takes fucking forever. I wait in that goddamn line, and eventually they come out, and I'm like, hey, I had my mail held. Here is the confirmation for my mail hold. There it is. You gave me this mail. This mail belongs to someone else.
Was it any relation to your address?
No,
Like
totally different part of town.
Okay.
I was like, where is my mail? I would like my mail. You probably have it in the back. They took that other mail. They're like, oh, thank you. And they just like closed the door. I was like, wait. I had to ring it again. I was like, you all still have my mail. Here's the hold mail. You have my mail somewhere. I was gone for 2 weeks. I know I have mail. Where is it? And they were like, your mail carrier must have it. Like, okay, right. I understand you said that, but the mail carrier would have delivered it today, right? They delivered the other mail I just gave you. They're like, what are you talking about? Like, the mail I just gave you, like before you close the door, that's the mail they put in my box. They're like, oh yeah, your mail carrier has it. Wait, he'll deliver tomorrow. I was like, okay, I know this is a mistake.
Yep.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna go home and I'll wait and I'll see if they deliver tomorrow. The next day comes, I get like one letter. Like, that's not my mail. I go back down to the post office, like, hey, remember we talked yesterday? No. Okay. My mail was held for 2 weeks. I got this. Oh, that's all you got then? Like, no. I was gone for 2 weeks. I must have had my mail. Like, where is it? They're like, oh yeah, you probably just didn't get anything.
What?
That was their answer, was I probably didn't get anything for 2 weeks. I never got that mail. I never got 2 weeks worth of mail because they fucking lost
Could have
it.
been a check in there or something.
Who knows? It's in a fucking black hole.
That's like trying to return something and then being like, do you have the receipt? And you're like, yeah, here it is. And they just go, do you have the receipt? And they're like, I just gave it to you. Like, oh, you need the receipt, sir. Do you have it?
One time I went to a Home Depot. I had bought cable, like coax cable. And I had gone to Home Depot. I bought this coax cable, went home, ended up I didn't need it. So I didn't even like take the coax out of the package. So like, I'm just going to go return this cable. Went back to the Home Depot. I was like, hey, I bought this cable yesterday. Here's my receipt. Can I just have a refund? They were like, we don't sell this. I was like, I bought it at this Home Depot yesterday. Here is the receipt. I paid for it. They're like, we can't take this back. We don't sell this brand. I was like, but I fucking paid for it.
Can you just put it back on the shelf and be like, this is where it was with all the
I
other
showed
ones?
them. I had to take them. And they were like, and they were right. There was no other of that brand on the shelf. I was like, this is where I grabbed it from. They're like, we don't sell that. Look, it's not there.
Do you think someone came in with that cable and put the tag on it?
I don't know.
Maybe you're a time traveler.
But it's like, I was like, how can you charge me for it if you don't sell it?
Yeah,
and
it
how can
wouldn't
you
have
not
been-
give me my money back? Like I've got the receipt.
The barcode wouldn't have scanned if they didn't carry that.
You know what I
item.
would have done? I would have walked up to another register and said, I'd like to buy this. And then when they ring it up, go, oops, I meant I want to return it. Because clearly if they scanned it again, it would come up as being able to be bought.
Yeah,
Right?
I should have done that. I was just so flabbergasted.
What happened though?
Eventually they had to like call their manager, and the manager was like, we don't sell it. And I think I walked away from it. It was just
No.
like, yeah, it was like,
I would have been like, look at the security footage of this time yesterday.
but I had a receipt. Like I had proof.
You would have? You just told the story about walking away from the post office because they wouldn't
Well, I
give
was
you
talking to a robot.
It was like $7, and I was like, I'm not getting the $7 back.
But
obviously.
the story's way better. The
Yeah,
story's
it's
way
like,
better
I'm
than
ju- I'm
$7.
just-
Did you
I'm
go
What
all
was
the way
the
back
thing?
there?
What was it?
coax cable.
That was coax cable.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah,
go
fuck
back
it.
there just to return it?
Yeah.
You don't value your time very highly, do you?
$7.
I mean, $7 fair play. You get lunch with that. But you're really gonna get in your car and drive
principle.
somewhere for $7?
Principle.
Yeah, I didn't use it.
Yeah. Principle.
I mean,
What's he gonna do? He's gonna throw it away. That's the other thing too. Is I can never bring myself to like.
I just keep stuff.
No, but then I keep it, and then it's just clutter, and then I just got to deal with it.
You
like-
sometimes need coax.
Last week,